Hey, y'all. Welcome to Y'all Come Eat. My name is Tim Holder, and I'm so glad you're going to be joining us today. I have nothing else prepared. My brother-in-law and my sister have a group of friends that come and they hang out with them all the time. So I'm going to be cooking for them today. I'll say we because I've got two camera guys here and they're pretty awesome and I'm cooking for them as well. But Jim and Jackie are coming and bringing about 4 of their friends over later on. And so what I'm going to do is, because it's a rainy, kind of a chilly day, I decided to make a brunch thing that is my own creation, sort of, along with my mom. So we're going to have a butter swim biscuit and it'll be topped with Mom's pot roast that I have enhanced. I've kind of elevated her pot roast recipe. And then I'm going to have some home fries with onions and bell peppers. It's going to be really good and charred a little bit. And then topped with an over easy egg. And then a Rarebit sauce, which is a Welsh cheddar and beer sauce. And then I'm going to have like a fruit salad that has an orange glaze with it. So we're going to get right into it so we can get going. I've got the pot roast. I've got all the fixings right here. I'm going to get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to salt both sides of the pot roast really generously, because I don't put any of the salt in it other than this. I'm going to do both sides. That looks good. That's all I need to do there. And then I'm going to get the fire going over here. There we go. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in the pot. I'm going to let that get hot a little bit. I'm going to put this is a chuck roast, a black Angus chuck roast. We're going to sear it on all sides. So, because searing, in case, I'm sure you already know, but searing gets all of the juices packed into the pot roast and they stay there while it's cooking. Salt and pepper. I've got a little bit of red wine. I told you I was elevating my mom's recipe. Don't tell her. You can't. She died. Onion soup mix, pepper. I've got some beef broth, some Worcestershire sauce. You know, there are 3 things that are really hard to say. I'm sorry, I need help, and this sauce, Worcestershire sauce. Was that right, Worcestershire? So we're gonna wait for this to heat up, and we're gonna get it going, and we're gonna sear this beautiful sirloin chuck roast. I'll get it together, y'all. I'm sorry, I was like prepping before, and I cut my finger 4 times. So we're gonna wait till that gets to heating up. So let me tell you about this pot while we're waiting for this to go. So this pot with this glass lid belonged to my Grandma Allen. And when she passed away, it went down to my mom. And when Mom passed away, it went to kind of all of us kids. I'm not even sure if anyone was using it, but I ended up with it, which was great because my mom, every Sunday of my life, had this pot. And every Sunday morning before we went to church, she would load it with a pot roast and potatoes and carrots and onions and a little bit of some kind of liquid, maybe just water, I don't know. And she'd put it in the oven before we went to church. And when we came home, the whole house smelled like this pot roast. Now, there are some better, probably more efficient pots that I could make it in, but this has the memories. And when I cook in it, every single time I make a pot roast, it's a little bit harder to clean, yes. But I remember all the great times we had at our house on Sundays. We laughed. Our family's really big on laughing and a lot of humor. So every time I cook with this, and whenever I cook this, I remember all those times. So I'm always, as long as I live, going to be using this pot for pot roast. Oh yeah, here we go. It's going now. It's cooking, buddies. So I'm just interested while we're doing this, what is your favorite recipe that you remember when you were a kid that you love the most and it brings back memories of your whole family and good special times that y'all had together? Put it in the comments below so I can read them and find out what y'all loved. I'm big on relationships. I'm big on friendships, and I want to know what it was that you loved. And I do. I associate with some people by what they remembered about their food. I mean, you know, Jesus was a foodie. He was a total foodie. He's fed 5,000 men, not counting women and children. So that was many thousands of people that he fed, and then had 12 basketfuls left over that I'm kind of hoping he donated to a food bank somewhere. He even got judged by the people for being a glutton. They said he was a glutton. Jesus was a foodie. So, and everywhere that he went, he always went to someone's house for food, and he ate with his disciples, you know. So, hey, if he can do it, we can do it. All right. Let me look down here. Okay, hey. Stop, hey. Let go. Oh yeah, all those juices, it smells good already in here. All right, so on top of the roast, I'm gonna put 2 sprigs of thyme, 2 sprigs of rosemary, and 2 completely worthless bay leaves. I don't know why, but they're there. All right, and then on top of that, I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic, 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced, fresh garlic, minced. I'm gonna put in the potatoes, the carrots, the onions, lots of those because I'm feeding a lot of people. Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna put 1 package of onion soup mix. I'm gonna let me put this on there first. 2 tablespoons or thereabouts of the Worcestershire. 2 cups of beef broth. Listen to it sizzle. Yeah, buddy. And 3/4 of a cup of dry red wine. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put the lid on there and I'm gonna put it in the oven. This is my Blue Star oven. This is like the greatest thing in the history of mankind ever. It is the greatest oven ever. Now we're gonna go in at 275 degrees. I'm gonna put the timer on for 3.5 hours, then we'll check it then and see how it's doing. So now I'm gonna start doing our fruit salad for the meal. It's like a lot of different fruits, and it's got a really good orange glaze to go on it. So we're gonna work on the orange glaze first because that takes a few minutes to cook. So first thing I'm gonna do is turn the oven on. Come on, there you go, thank you. Put it down to about medium. I have got 2/3 of a cup of orange juice and 1/3 cup of fresh lemon juice, both of them fresh, which I juiced myself. You should be very proud. I never do that. So that, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of orange zest and lemon zest. I'm gonna add that in. Then I'm gonna add in 1/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar. And we're just gonna put this on the stove to cook for a little while. We're gonna let it go and it will thin down, it'll thicken up a little bit once the liquid thins down a little bit. It's gonna be good. So we've got a cup of green grapes and red grapes mixed together. We've got 3 kiwis and we've got a couple of oranges that I cut up. Put those in there. I've got 2 cups of fresh pineapple that I love. And yeah, it's fresh pineapple, but I did not cut that. I've got strawberries and I've got bananas. This is gonna be a lot of fruit salad. I hope they're hungry when they get here. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. I'm gonna just mix that up. Let me get a spoon. I'm gonna mix that up really good. We're talking about my mom in that pot, and my mom is like, Mom was like the guardian for everybody. She was like the sentinel for all of my friends. She loved all of our friends, and anyone that we loved, she loved. Unless they were just horrible, and then she didn't. But most of the time, she really did. She took care of everyone around her. She loved everyone and took care of everybody. That was what her legacy was, pretty much. That was what was so cool about my mom, is that she loved everyone. As a matter of fact, with these pot roasts, and in this pot that we're using on Sundays, all of us kids might have brought friends home from college that were hungry, that were tired of the cafeteria food, a patty cob. So she would just open up another can of sweet kernel corn or another box of macaroni and cheese, and there was always enough. There was always enough food at the table. I'll never forget one time it was Christmas time, and I was in New York City with some friends of mine, and we were out at Times Square, and that Christmas tree is so huge and beautiful. So I called Mom, and I said, Mom, you're not going to believe where I am. I'm in New York City, and look behind me. You can see the Times Square Christmas tree. It's beautiful. She goes, that is so great. I said, yeah, it's really cool. Are you doing okay? She said, I'm great. I said, well, do you have a cold or something? No, I'm good. Well, why are you whispering? I'm in church. I'm like, Mom, Mom. And she goes, I'm in church. Shh. So my mom shushed me at church, and I wasn't even there. That was my mom. But I called her. She was in church. She did not care. She answered the phone and talked to me, even in a whisper. I hope it wasn't on speakerphone, but we don't know. Our protector, our guardian, she was so cool. Okay, so y'all, I think this is cool down enough for me to put on the fruit. I'm going to taste it, though, and see. Lemon, orange, brown sugar, and I'm just going to put a tad of vanilla in there. Really zesty, really strong, but I'm going to mix it with this fruit. It's going to add just the perfect tang. Give that a good stir. Then I'll put it in the fridge for a few hours until we're ready to eat. Let it have time to... Shut up! Just so I'll have a little time to chill and marinate and be good. He actually did it. He actually shut up. Okay. I'm going to let that chill out for a while, and we're good to go. Now, the mocktail that I'm making for my guests this evening, it's so easy and so simple. Watch this. You can take some peach juice, fill it about halfway through. Take some 7-Up or Sprite, some kind of lemon lime soda. Fill it the rest of the way up. And then you're going to take grenadine, which I really like. You know, when I first started this tonight, I cut myself 4 times. So this makes it look a little bit like I bled out. So there you go. Check it out. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call over my buddy who came to hang out. Robin, come here. Come on. This is my friend Robin Morris. She came over. She's taking pictures for me. So I want you to try it and tell me what you think.
All right. Wow. Absolutely delicious.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
If you have a dream, if you have a plan, if you just took another breath, it doesn't matter how old you are, God has a plan. And I'm really confident and secure in the fact that this is my plan from God for me to do right now in this part of my journey. There's a way that you can help. There's a way that if you're interested and want to, you can support this ministry with me. Patreon.com is the website you're going to go to, and there are several different ways you can help out. You can donate $5 a month, and if you do that, then you'll get your names in the final credits of the show. Or if you want to even do more, if you want to donate $20 a month, you'll get your name in the credits, and I'll send you a personal book. Don't move. I'll give you a copy of Anfractuous, my book that came out about 2 years ago. I'll send it to you signed, which obviously makes it a whole lot more valuable. Or if you'd even be interested in going big and supporting a whole episode, there's a place where you can check on the website as well, and that would be awesome. So the way you can support this ministry, most of all though, is by prayer. If you're not financially able to, I get it, I understand, I'm with you, but lifting me up in prayer and lifting this ministry up in prayer so that people will come on here and maybe find some hope, a new level of faith, and a stronger relationship with the creator of the universe. That's what this show is all about. There'll be a link below, so just click on the link and you can go straight there. When I was growing up, my dad had to have fried potatoes every supper. I mean, every supper. If we had pot roast, it was fried potatoes. If it was fried chicken, it was fried potatoes. If it was chicken casserole, it was fried potatoes. We had fried potatoes every night. Again, I'm going to elevate a little bit what Mom made, and I'm going to make it a little bit more special. Dad would not have liked it because it wasn't just fried potatoes. It had other stuff in it. So anyway, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of oil, vegetable oil, by the way, and I'm going to coat that around. Then I'm going to pour in 1 chopped green bell pepper, 1 red chopped pepper, and about 1.5 pounds of yellow potatoes. Kind of Yukon Gold, although they're not exactly the same, but close. There we go. And then I'm going to stir those so they are mixed up together and all has the oil incorporated in them. And we're probably going to let them cook for about 20 minutes. The thing about these potatoes, the thing that you want is the char on them. So At 20 minutes, I'll check them. And if they need to go a little bit longer, then I will let them go a little bit longer, and then we'll add a couple of spices in there to it. One of the spices I will be using that y'all need to find out about, Fennel and Fire, out of Little Rock, Tay Stratton. She makes all these incredible spices and herbs. They're all organic. And let me tell you something. When I worked at the Bramble Market, she would use our kitchen every once in a while to get her spices together and get them ready for packaging. And I've never seen anyone more meticulous than she is. She weighed it down to the grain of salt in everything. Whatever she was doing, it had the exact same weight. It was the same spice every single time. I need to put the onions in there right now. And then I've got some butter that we'll top it off with and some garlic. Look at the char going on. These are like absolute perfection. I'm going to put the other stuff in there. I need more salt a little bit, but the char is beautiful. I'm so excited. So we're going to make the Rarebit sauce, which is a Welsh cheddar beer sauce, and it's really, really one of my favorite things in the whole world. And it was found, they started it in Wales when guys would go out hunting for rabbits. And if they went out and they didn't find any, they didn't get any, then they would make this rabbit sauce, which formed later on into Rarebit sauce, which is a cheddar beer sauce. And I'm using, again, I'm elevating it a little bit. I'm using extra sharp cheddar, putting a little Worcestershire sauce, a little hot sauce. So it's going to be really good on top of this mess of food I'm fixing to serve. So, the rivers of heaven will be strewn with Rarebit sauce. And the banks of said river will be lined with chicken minis, as numerous as the grains of sand on the ocean shore. 3 Timothy 7:26. Come in. Come in. Yeah, she's right door. Hey.
What's going on?
Welcome, y'all.
Thanks for
Welcome.
having us for
Good to see you.
dinner.
Yes. Come on in.
I'm hungry.
Wait, which one's which? Which one's which?
Hi.
I know what it's like. I love. Mom began the greatest adventure of her life on January 13th, 2021. She traded her oxygen tank for crisp, clean, fresh air. She left behind an earthen hearth that betrayed her for many years for a strong, healthy, healed, perfect body. Greatest of all, she completed her lifelong and most passionate desire. She ran to and embraced Jesus, her Savior, her guardian, her best friend. Mama's visitation, held on February 17th of that year, even in the middle of a pandemic, proved to be a sterling representation of her legacy. Generations of friends and family gathered to remember. I coaxed one of my high school buddies to stay right beside me and remind me of people's names whose face I might recall, and she did. One of my pastors, at some point during the afternoon, pulled me aside and said, "You want to see your mom's legacy? Look around." Standing at the front of the small chapel, I turned and right away made a conscious choice to take a heart picture. Folks I've known for a few years, decades, laughter ringing through and around those wooden pews, hugs, retelling stories we've told on each other for as far back as we can remember. No sorrow, no tears, no grief. Pure joy that can only be shared by deep bonds, kinship, and time and faith. That's the legacy Mom left behind. Not just to her kids, but anyone who knew her. And that's the gift she left us, our birthright. There will always be enough at our table. I look up to the mountains. Does my strength come from mountains? No. My strength comes from God, who made heaven and earth and mountains. He won't let you stumble. Your guardian God won't fall asleep. Not on your life. Israel's guardian will never doze or sleep. God's your guardian, right at your side to protect you, shielding you from sunstroke, sheltering you from moonstroke. God guards you from every evil. He guards your very life. He guards you when you leave and when you return. He guards you now. He guards you always. Thank y'all so much for being with me on my first show. It means so much to me that y'all were here and paying attention and listening. Hope you got some good recipes. They're really good. I think my folks that came tonight are really liking it. Is that right? Yes. So also just make sure if you have the time, go like, subscribe, and share this link. And also go to patreon.com and you can find out ways you can help support us. But the most important thing you can do is pray for us that God will bless this ministry. I love it. I feel like I'm called to do this, and y'all can be a big support. Just pray. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you all. Have a great week.